hitthatline.com and across all of the ESPN Arkansas platforms. And in association with the Arkansas Sports Network, it's the only in-depth high school sports podcast in the state of Arkansas. It's Primetime Preps. And here's your hosts, Brad Caldwell and Bill Harshaw.
Welcome into another edition of Primetime Preps. Brad Caldwell and Bill Harshaw here.
Yes, sir.
We are once again remote. We're getting ready to do a Pottsville game. We're going to Heber Springs. That'll have already happened by the time that you have watched this, but we've got a lot of stuff going on. Had a chance to watch Joseph Pinion last week. It was a lot of fun. Pottsville pulled that one out 40-39. Big game for the Apaches. Morrilton's still on top of the conference there. But that was an exciting one, Bill. And we got a lot of run there on the Russell Sports Network on that one.
We sure did. You know, Joseph Pinion will draw a crowd, and he certainly did that not only in the gym that night, but also online, as we had a plethora of viewers on that matchup. But it was an incredible matchup. You know, Pottsville, the last 3 or 4 games, kind of off to a sluggish start, and ended up costing them late in the game when they would try and come back and win. However, this game against Morrilton, they got that good start that they had been missing, and held on to a good, constant performance. Not a whole lot of big runs or anything going on, which is not typical for the previous months of Pottsville. But a big win for the Apaches, and always exciting to watch Joseph Pinion in action.
We thought we were bringing overtime with us, as somebody at Buffalo Wild Wings was messing with us for sure.
I'm telling you.
Because we 3 straight nights we had overtime basketball, whether it was boys or girls action. So we had some regular basketball, but 40-39 was a lot of fun there as Razorback commitment. Joseph Pinion entered the building at Pottsville, and what a lot of fun it was. It felt like a normal basketball night. You know, it didn't think about COVID a lot. Didn't worry about masks. Not to say that people weren't wearing it, just didn't think about it. Actually just got a chance to watch hoops, and it was a lot of fun to be there.
It was, and that, like I said, it was a lot of people at that game. It was, we were talking out in the lobby. I was talking to one of the resource officers, and I was like, "Man, that's a big crowd." And he says, "Yeah, it's growing. The community concern over COVID seems to be going down. The number of cases appear to be going down. So, I mean, that's a good sign that things are hopefully getting behind us." But it was a really good experience this year, finally being in a gym that, although it wasn't to capacity, it felt like it was at capacity.
There was an atmosphere there. That was big, just to have an atmosphere, being able to feel like, because look, whether you want to believe it or not, the crowd plays a lot of factor in sports, televised or otherwise. And that atmosphere the other night was electric, and just a lot of fun to be there. And a big 4A4 matchup as we had on Friday night. And Bill, we've got some big matchups coming up this week. Again, where we're at in the show is kind of awkward because we're on Wednesday. Games are played Tuesday. We actually shoot this thing on Tuesday. So there's an in-between time where games are being played and the show is actually shown. So it makes for kind of a weird spot, doesn't it?
It does. And, we start looking at some of these games that would kind of fit into that parameter on the 6A side especially. And, you're looking at Central taking on Bryant tonight. Of course, tonight being Tuesday, Central and Bryant, that'll be a big game. Central 17-4 on the season. Bryant comes in 10-3, but that's going to be a big-time matchup.
Absolutely. It's going to be a big-time matchup. Cam Hunter for Bryant, UCA signee, big one. And then, you got Bryson Warren right now, a guy that a lot of people are saying is the best player in the state. I know the guy that we have on this show today might have something to say about that with Nick Smith Jr. 2 big-time players there. And, of course, there's other players, other guys out there that could definitely make that claim. But we've got some really good basketball here in the state of Arkansas, no doubt. And that's going to be a big one. It's going to be a fun one to be at as Central host Bryant.
And that'll be a big one. And then also another one that's tonight, Tuesday after this airs. Another one is Fayetteville, 11-6, hosting Bentonville, who comes in 13-2. So that's a big time girls matchup going on Tuesday.
Yeah, top 5 matchup on the girls' side of things. It is massive there for implications on playoffs there in the 6A West. You've got on Friday night, Bill, you've got Northside, 19-1, taking on number 2 Conway. That is as big as it gets on the girls' side of things.
It is. Conway is always a big time school, but that's literally, you're looking at number 1, number 2 Friday night, where Northside, like I said, 19-1, and the Wampus Cats 15-4. They will face off at Northside. That's a long trip for Conway, but they'll be facing off at Northside Friday night.
Absolutely, and big time implications there. That's a conference matchup. If you don't know that, on the boys' side of things, in 5A, Parkview has got a huge week this week as they take on Little Rock Christian, but then on Saturday, a massive game as Parkview and Jonesboro. Parkview will be traveling to Jonesboro. You've got Scotty Thurman on one side and Wes Swift on the other side. What a heck of a matchup that is on the boys' side of things.
Absolutely. Parkview, they're going to have to keep fresh legs coming off that long bus ride going up to Jonesboro. But Parkview, they only have 2 losses on the season, and Jonesboro, 3 losses on the season. This being a Saturday game, it kind of makes me feel like this might be a makeup game.
It is. Actually, I think it might be just a non-conference game that Jonesboro has scheduled. Maybe it's even a COVID replacement game. Whatever it is, it's a heck of a game. I can tell you that. I mean, you're talking about 2 teams that might end up in the finals on the 5A side of things. That's a massive matchup. Another massive matchup is tonight.
Oh, yeah,
Tuesday
this
night.
Is big. Yeah, this one's big. You were talking about Sylvan Hills?
Yes, Sylvan Hills taking on Maumelle. Maumelle is actually ranked number 1 by the Arkansas Democrat Gazette in 5A. I mean, you see different rankings, got different teams. And, I mean, you're talking about the top 5 in 5A. 5A, man, you look at the basketball that's played. I mean, I think if you took 5A and you compare it to 6A, let's just do that right now. You've got Central, North Little Rock, Bryant, Bentonville, and Harbor on the boys' side, top 5. In 5A, you've got Parkview, Sylvan Hills, Jonesboro, Maumelle, and Marion. I think I would take the 5A lineup there over the 6A.
I would. The only exception might be Central. I think they are in a class of their own almost. They do have the most losses of any of those teams that you've just mentioned. Well, except for Harbor. Harbor has 5 losses in 6A. Central has 4. So, I mean, it's interesting that one of the premier teams in 6A, Central, does have 4 losses. And so I think those are losses that they will have to overcome. They'll be quality losses, but they're going to put it to the test. I mean, absolutely tonight against Bryant.
Moving on into the girls' side of things on the 5A, Friday night, big ball game, Greenwood and Bologna. I mean, it can't get much bigger than that.
Yeah, I don't think it does get any bigger than that. Both of these teams have 19 wins. Now, there is a game in between them, so that could change. But we're looking at 19-3. Greenwood is on the road to Bologna, I believe. And that's just down the road from where I'm at. 19-2 if I didn't have a game Friday night. And, that would probably be one I would want to go to, as these 2 teams here are number 3 and number 4 respectively in the poll that we're looking at, and that's going to be a big time primetime matchup.
Absolutely. Moving down into 4A, you got Magnolia right now, 15-0 in the season, but 46 in a row now. That number just keeps creeping up. They've got Camden, Fairview, and Star City. Star City, team that really doesn't have a great record, but gave Magnolia all they wanted a couple weeks back. But looking at Magnolia, they look really good and in good shape right here, really trying to vie for that 3rd straight state championship.
Yeah, and you mentioned something interesting there with Star City about the record not reflecting the talent. And, that's one of the things that you will see. You see a lot of it around this time of the year in March Madness, to be honest with you. In the NCAA tournament, you will see a lower seed with, twice the number of losses as a higher seed, and they beat that higher seed. And a lot of times people don't expect that. When you don't look at the talent, you don't look at the individual matchups on the floor. Records don't really matter when you're just talking about, 10 guys going against each other. When you start looking at the likes of somebody like Star City, it would not be unusual for Star City to put a big dent in that 46-0 run.
No, it wouldn't. But, at the same time,
Do I expect that to happen?
no,
Maybe not.
I
But
definitely wouldn't
I'm
bet
just
on
saying,
it.
don't overlook them. Don't sleep on anybody.
Sure. In the 4A girls side of things, Pea Ridge and Farmington sticks out on February the 12th as a big game. And then moving down into the 3A, did I miss anything that you were looking at there?
No, I don't think so. There's not a whole lot going on the 4A girls side right now.
In the 3A, big matchup on Friday night is number 1, Mayflower, and taking on number 2, Baptist Prep by this poll. Baptist Prep did fall to Lamar just Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
But that conference, man, that 3A5 conference with both boys and the girls is stupid good. I mean, especially at the top, Mayflower, Baptist Prep, Lamar, those three for sure are really, really good. Jessieville and Atkins are kind of battling it out for the 4th spot. Atkins is a good basketball team. And
there's some athletes.
Yeah, and they may get left out of the regional tournament. So that's a big time matchup there. They've got Atkins has Lamar on Thursday night. Lamar 14-4 moved into the top 4 in this 3A poll.
So so that's a big time game there as well. Absolutely. And you mentioned the loss, with Lamar, Baptist Prep losing to Lamar. I think Lamar is a team that is often overlooked as well. The boys 14-4, not this year. So that was a big time win for Lamar. Baptist Prep's going to have to come back Friday night as they take on a 16-1 Mayflower team that we saw in person. They have some studs.
Oh my goodness. Mayflower is loaded, man. They are loaded. And, again, coming back to Lamar beat them. Lamar's beating Baptist Prep and Mayflower, and Lamar's sitting in 3rd in that conference right now. It tells you how good and how strong that conference is. Moving down to the girls' side, nothing really sticks out as far as what's upcoming for the most part. You got Bergman sitting at 29-1, fantastic record. CAC at 15-0. We've got Ava Knoedl on with us today. Big time player there, junior from CAC. She has lit it up for the Lady Mustangs, and it has been a good year down there, even though they've had to have several canceled because COVID. Still sitting at undefeated right now.
Yeah, CAC is doing the right things over there at Mustang Mountain. I'm telling you, they have year in and year out usually has a pretty good basketball team. But you don't want to leave out in that 3A girls. You don't want to not talk about Ashdown 19-1.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good team to take on. They are taking on Glen Rose Friday night. Ashdown is, but CAC DeWitt. They play Tuesday, and then they have 2 games on back-to-back days as you're looking at Thursday, Palestine Wheatley, and Friday taking on Dollarway. So CAC's got a full week ahead.
Moving on down into the 2A, a lot of stuff going on down there. One sticks out to me, and we're going to have them on next week from Mountainburg. The Dragons, 16-3 on the year, surprise team out of North Arkansas. They've got Akron tonight, and Lavaca on Friday night with Magazine wedged in between those 2 games. So big week for the Dragons, big week in their conference there, as those are the top 3 teams in the conference playing each other really for district tournament seeding at this point. All 3 are going to be top 3, but Mountainburg sitting at 16-3. Again, my alma mater, Mountainburg Dragon. And having one of the best years that they've had in many, many years. Not a ton of success out of Mountainburg over the last 40 years, really just spots. When my class was there, and then
just your class, right? It was just your class.
No, not just mine. you gotta give me some time here. When my class was there, and then about 10 years later, it was another good class. And 2 years back, they won the regional tournament, but they came out of nowhere to do it. And then this year, they've got a guy named Ethan Gregory, who is going to be one of our primetime performers this week, lighting up the nets, averaged 28 points a game over his last 3 games. And I got a chance to see some highlights of the young man. He's a baller. He can play. So big week there for the Dragons.
Yeah, the Dragons, like you said, they have a big schedule this week. I'm looking at that magazine, and then with the Golden Arrows on Friday. Of course, Akron, anytime you go down around there to play, that's always going to be a tough one. It's a small gym, so that makes it a little challenging.
Oh, yeah, and when you're in those small gyms, people are right on top of you. I don't care how much social distancing is going on, it's going to be a tough place to play.
Exactly.
Mostly metal and all that. Well, Bill, do you have anything else that sticks out between here and the break?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you're looking down that list at some of the teams that have really great records in 2A. Looking over at the girls, Melbourne, 21-1. Tuckerman, I don't even know where that's at, 23-4. Marmaduke, 24-4. So I mean, there's some pretty good teams going on, and then the Akron girls, 21-3. So those are some pretty good studs there in 2A, and then in the 1A division. Viola, 25-6 overall record on the boys' side. That's an outstanding record, and for the life of me, I can't figure out with a 25-6 record. Yeah, you have 6 losses, but is that that should be head and shoulders better than like a 15-2, right?
Right. Then you got Clarendon girls setting it undefeated, 12-0, and Desart girls also setting it undefeated at 11-0. Well, we're going to come up on our first break, and when we come back, got some cool interviews for you. So you want to stay tuned here on Primetime Preps. Got Nick Smith Jr., we got Ava Knoedl, and it's going to be a big show here today. So stick with us and check us out here on the Giroux and Associates hotline. We will be back right after this with more Primetime Preps.
Your family, your most prized possession. You want to take care of them. You want to give them the very best. When choosing a pharmacy, you want someone that knows your name, understands you and your way of life. At Rose Drug, they will take care of your family just like you were their own. They will be someone that you can trust with the ones that you love the most. That's Rose Drug in Russellville.
Here, in the heart of the River Valley, is St. Mary's Regional Health System. Here is the area's most comprehensive range of medical services, along with advanced treatment options and responsive emergency care. Here is our team of more than 900 professionals who bring healthcare to life through people caring for people. And it is here where you can count on St. Mary's to always be, because to us, community matters. For more than 90 years, our investment in our community has been unmatched, and today that couldn't be stronger. St. Mary's, we're here for you.
When is the last time you had a life insurance checkup? Does your life insurance plan provide you with critical illness coverage or long-term care coverage? Contact the experts at Giroux & Associates for a life insurance checkup today. Protect your most valuable asset, yourself. Call Mike Giroux at 888-360-8611 to schedule an appointment today.
On the Giroux & Associates hotline, we have one of the unsung heroes of this year's basketball season. We've got Ava Knoedl of CAC. Ava, thanks for joining us today here on Primetime Preps.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. We've been watching your season. You've actually been one of our primetime performers throughout the season. And then, of course, your team is having really a great year at a school that is kind of steeped in girls basketball tradition. Tell us a little bit about the season and how it's been going for you guys.
The season has been going really good so far, besides COVID coming in and canceling a few of our big games that were non-conference, we were a little bummed about that, but we got back together and we're 14-0 so far, and we beat some good teams, and we're just playing really good right now.
Yeah, anytime you're 14-0, that's a big deal here, and undefeated in conference, and undefeated overall. That's a big say. It looks like you guys have Palestine Wheatley left, Dollarway, and DeWitt. Are you making up any of the games that you guys have missed?
Yes. Well, we had to cancel one with DeWitt because of COVID, but we made that up last week. So we actually didn't play DeWitt long ago. So we're playing pretty close together. But we're excited to finish that out and then get ready for regionals.
You got DeWitt tonight, which y'all have already played that game by the time that we show this today, tomorrow. But let's talk about your season a little bit, averaging 15 points per game for the Lady Mustangs as a junior. Tell us about how things have went and how you stepped your game up.
Well, I just have worked really hard over the summer because I actually had surgery on my foot, so I was out for a little bit. So I had to regather myself, but I'm 100% now, and I've just been working really hard to just improve my shooting and ball handling and leadership on the team.
Yeah, and obviously you're a key cog, averaging 15 points per game on a 14-0 team. Talk about some of your teammates here and just what makes CAC go.
Well, we have our senior Bethany back. She's our only senior, which is amazing because last year we lost 3 starters. So we've had to have some girls step up, and we're thankful that we've had Riley Bryant, and she's been a big part of our offense, and she's gotten us some points, and she just kind of helps us go. And our team dynamic has just changed a lot because we have 7 sophomores now, and we only had 4 returning. So we all just have had to work together and figure each other out and just keep us together.
Well, looking at your scores, you've done some figuring out. I mean, your last 4 games here, 66-4, 69-30, 66-37, 57-42. Nothing's been close, but you also know that you got regional coming up, and you guys are going to be facing probably some stiffer competition.
We are, for sure, especially because our district changed, and all the people that we've played so far, we've never played them before, but we've played really well against them, and I bet we'll do amazing in regionals in the state as well.
Looking forward to a state championship, huh?
Yes, that's the goal.
That is the goal. Tell us a little bit about your team goals. Obviously, state championship would be one of them, but just goals individually as well.
Well, we really want to win state, and our main goal this year has just been kind of to unite, because a bunch of us haven't ever played together before, and I know some of us have dreams to go play college, and I do as well. And so we really just want to play our best all the time and make ourselves the best we can be individually.
Well, let's talk about recruiting a little bit. 15 points per game, you're probably getting a little bit of attention. Who are you getting attention from right now?
I'm getting some attention from Mississippi College and Ouachita, and I'm interested in them both. But my recruiting is just wide open, and I'm keeping all my options open.
Don't have a dream school in there?
Well, Ouachita and Mississippi College are both 2 of my dream schools, so I'm very excited about them both.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you joining us here on Primetime Preps, and definitely going to be watching to see what happens with you. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in school. Are you doing well in school? What do you do in your off time?
I'm doing really well in school right now. I have 4.0. I'm in 2 college classes, just the normal school things. This year's just been really busy, especially with just having COVID around. Things have been different. I've had to readjust, but it's been good. I like outside of school, I like to hang out with my friends. I like to draw. And so I just find ways to keep myself busy, and especially going to the gym after practice and stuff. So it's been busy.
Busy but good, right? And
yes, very good.
That you guys actually get a chance to play. I mean, this year has been one of those years that you just don't know about,
Yes.
So anyway, well, we really thank you for joining us here on Primetime Preps, and like I said, we'll be looking forward to seeing what you do in the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. That is Ava Knoedl of the Central Arkansas Christian Lady Mustangs, who are undefeated on the season, one of 4 teams on the girls' side of the ledger in the state being undefeated. We'll be back with more Primetime Preps right after this.
Your family, your most prized possession. You want to take care of them. You want to give them the very best. When choosing a pharmacy, you want someone that knows your name, understands you and your way of life. At Rose Drug, they will take care of your family just like you were their own. They will be someone that you can trust with the ones that you love the most. That's Rose Drug in Russellville.
Here, in the heart of the River Valley, is St. Mary's Regional Health System. Here is the area's most comprehensive range of medical services, along with advanced treatment options and responsive emergency care. Here is our team of more than 900 professionals who bring healthcare to life through people caring for people. And it is here where you can count on St. Mary's to always be, because to us, community matters. For more than 90 years, our investment in our community has been unmatched, and today that couldn't be stronger. St. Mary's, we're here for you.
When is the last time you had a life insurance checkup? Does your life insurance plan provide you with critical illness coverage or long-term care coverage? Contact the experts at Giroux & Associates for a life insurance checkup today. Protect your most valuable asset, yourself. Call Mike Giroux at 888-360-8611 to schedule an appointment today.
On the Giroux & Associates hotline, we have one of the best players in the state of Arkansas. We've got Nick Smith Jr. Nick, thanks for joining us here.
Yes, sir. Appreciate for having me.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Sylvan Hills Bears doing their thing again this year. Tell us a little bit about how your season has went so far at Sylvan Hills.
Our season's been pretty cool so far. As of right now, we're just focusing on getting to the state tournament. But, we got to just take it game by game, step by step. So, really, our mindset is just to get to that state championship. If it really don't matter, like any other accolades, we're just trying to get to that state championship.
Okay. Tell us, you play in a very tough conference. You got Maumelle, Parkview. Tell us about some of the matchups that you guys have had this year.
We had some really good matchup this year. We played against Parkview. We lost to them 76-73. That was a good game. I feel like we could have won that game, but we played them February 19th. Jacksonville, that was a real tough game for us because it's a rival game for us, so it's emotional. So emotional game for the whole city because it's like basically the city versus the city. So we got a real good key game coming up tomorrow. We play against Maumelle at home. We didn't play them the first time because due to COVID reasons, but I'm pretty sure tomorrow is going to be a real good game for for Arkansas. Period.
Yeah, big time matchup there. Maumelle being the number one team in the state of Arkansas right now in 5A. They give you any added incentive to play a team when they've got that number one by their name?
No, I bring every game it's like it's the same. It's just another game for me because y'all feel like they number one. Hey, I really can't. That's y'all opinion, so I can't really say nothing about that. But I'm gonna bring my game every game I play.
This is your junior season here, and a lot of people have been getting to know you ever since you was a freshman, coming on the scene there at Sylvan Hills, playing with Jalen Ricks at the time, big time duo at that time. Jalen moved on to Oak Hill. Why are you still stay at Sylvan Hills? What is it about Sylvan Hills that keeps you there versus going the route that Jalen went?
I'm a real loyal guy. I feel like I don't really need to go anywhere else just to get my name out there. So, Coach Davis has a good system. I play well in his system. Coach Davis believe in me night in, night out. So all I have to do is just perform. And if I perform, we have a chance to win every game. So
I'm sure Coach Davis appreciates that.
yeah, for sure. That's my guy.
And you've had a really good season so far this year, getting a lot of notice. Being your junior season, I know that things are definitely heating up for you as far as recruitment goes. You talk a little bit about recruitment here and what's going on with that?
It's been pretty much the same schools been contacting, I will say Kentucky and Texas start contacting me more. Not sure if I'm going to put them in my list or not, but, they've been contacting me. Obviously, as everybody knows, I put a top 10 out. So it's really just like the same schools have been contacting me. I'm not really sure when I'm going to cut my list or commit. I'm just really just trying to focus on the season, trying to get a ring this year.
Everybody I know is going to be curious about how you feel about Arkansas, being around here. So tell us about your relationship with the staff with Arkansas.
I have a great relationship with them. Me and Coach Eric talk like every other now and then. Me and Coach Williams have a great relationship. Me and Coach DP got a good relationship. It's really just just keep building relationships down the road. I mean, I'm just a junior, so like I'm not really worried about trying to commit right now or anything like that. I'm just trying to hear everybody out, not just Arkansas, maybe just another school down the line. So really just hearing about everybody out and just continue to build relationships. And then when I make the best decision, I'm gonna make the best decision for me.
Your coach is actually texting me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just checking on you here. So let's talk about your season so far. Obviously, you're having a really good season. I mean, a lot of people are talking about you. You got Bryson Warren, some other guys that they're talking about being one of the best, if not the best player in the state. So obviously, you're getting some accolades. Tell us a little bit about your season, how you feel about how it's went so far this year.
I was obviously, y'all see the stats and stuff, but I say my only goal for this year is just to win. That's the only thing I want to do this year because, Sylvan Hills is not known for, as like a Little Rock Central or like a Parkview. So like, I'm really just trying to put them back on the map. But I've been doing that. So I just got to continue to keep working and keep doing what I'm doing. And, everything else will just fall in place.
I know that you probably feel this way, but you guys play in the toughest conference in the 5A.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that prepares you for what you're wanting to do, which is win that state championship, right?
Yes, sir. 5A, you're going to have to bring it every game. You can't take a game off. So, like, if you don't bring it every game, you ain't going to know. You don't know what might happen, because every team in the 5A is a tough team.
You guys have made it through the season. A lot of people wondering here, you're down here to the very end of the season. A lot of people were wondering if people were going to make it through the season, if you're going to actually have a basketball season this year. What's it meant to you to be able to do that, get through the season, actually play ball this season?
Well, first off, when a game got taken away from us, we start to realize how quick the game can, get taken away from us. So, like, when the game came back, for me personally, I just appreciated it more and put more time in it as I usually would because, I never know when the last time I'll be able to play basketball or do anything like sports-wise anyway. So, I just appreciate it more, just kept working.
Obviously, you can't do it by yourself. I mean, you're averaging probably, 25 a game, somewhere in there?
Somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah. But you can't, even with averaging 25 a game, you still can't do it by yourself. So tell us about some of your teammates and who's getting it done for the Bears this year.
Well, each and every one of my teammates, has a big part on why are we doing how we're doing. Coach puts us in a position to be successful. But you also have to work and be able to do that on your own, but coach is putting you in a position to do that. So like if you don't do that, you ain't gonna look as good, So, but if if we just all work together as a team, we all gonna get numbers. So we don't really worry about how many points the next person got. We just go out there, play hard, try to get a dub.
You guys are 16-3, 8-1 in the conference. You guys have had a fantastic season this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Sylvan Hills does in the near future.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we get this ring this year. That's the only thing we worried about.
All right. Well, Nick, we really appreciate you joining us here on Primetime Preps, and we will definitely be following you, see how things go with the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you. That's Nick Smith Jr. Join us on Primetime Preps on the Giroux & Associates hotline, and we will be back with more Primetime Preps right after this.
Your family, your most prized possession. You want to take care of them. You want to give them the very best. When choosing a pharmacy, you want someone that knows your name, understands you and your way of life. At Rose Drug, they will take care of your family just like you were their own. They will be someone that you can trust with the ones that you love the most. That's Rose Drug in Russellville.
Here, in the heart of the River Valley, is St. Mary's Regional Health System. Here is the area's most comprehensive range of medical services, along with advanced treatment options and responsive emergency care. Here is our team of more than 900 professionals who bring healthcare to life through people caring for people. And it is here where you can count on St. Mary's to always be, because to us, community matters. For more than 90 years, our investment in our community has been unmatched, and today that couldn't be stronger. St. Mary's, we're here for you.
When is the last time you had a life insurance checkup? Does your life insurance plan provide you with critical illness coverage or long-term care coverage? Contact the experts at Giroux & Associates for a life insurance checkup today. Protect your most valuable asset, yourself. Call Mike Giroux at 888-360-8611 to schedule an appointment today.
Segment of Primetime Preps. We want to thank Ava Knoedl and Nick Smith Jr. for joining us today here. I know a lot of people are definitely want to hear from Nick, because Nick is top 25 player on the cusp of being a McDonald's All-American. But, glad to have those guys on the show. Ava, 15 points a game for CAC, 15-0 on the season. They look really strong headed into the regional tournament. Things look good for both teams, both Sylvan Hills and for CAC.
Absolutely. And that's what this show is all about. It's highlighting these athletes in such a manner that not only do you know who they are, but also these top colleges and recruiters know who they are. And that's what this show is all about. That's what this podcast is all about.
Yeah, make sure to like us, share us, and rate us on all of our platforms. Unless you have a bad rating, then we don't want it. If you have a good rating, we want it. So make sure that you're doing that. That way it just helps people see, gets it into the algorithm and lets people know that you're watching Primetime Preps. We have the Arkansas Sports Network. You can follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, or you can follow us on Twitter at ARSportsNet. So join us there. What else? Is there anything else that I missed here? Because there's a lot of platforms and a lot of things to talk about.
There's a lot of platforms, Brad. I mean, we're on SoundCloud, iTunes, you know, all of that. So feel free to share it with your friends and family, because there's chances are you know somebody or know somebody who knows somebody that we're talking about. Yeah,
and we also want to thank Mike Giroux. And if you guys have insurance needs, make sure and check him out here in Russellville at Giroux & Associates. Know Mike personally. He will do a great job. He'll take care of you for sure. So, but let's talk hoops, Bill, and let's talk about our primetime performers for the week. Love to highlight these outstanding performances on the boys and the girls side. And let's get right to it. And let's go with the sophomore, Patience McDaniel from Harbor. She scored 34 points in the victory over Rogers, 58-51. We got to see Patience as Harvard traveled to, did I say Harvard? I think I tried to say Harvard. Harbor traveled to Pottsville over the Christmas break. That's an odd matchup. And Patience was a fantastic player for the Lady Wildcats.
It's a big-time performance by McDaniel, 34 points in the 58-51 win over Rogers Heritage. That's the type of performance that your team is looking for when you're trying to make seedings for district and regional tournaments.
Jersey Wolfenbarger, we had her on the show, McDonald's All-American, possibly the best player in the country, residing in Fort Smith, Arkansas, 33 points in a victory over Little Rock Central, 70-62. What a ball game that would have been.
Big time ball game. Fort Smith Northside needed every one of those points from Jersey in that 70-62 decision over Central. But listen, we had Jersey Wolfenbarger on our show several weeks back. An outstanding story with her moving from Missouri down to Arkansas, and this the story that she told with their relationship with her coaches. It's an outstanding interview. If you have a chance to go back and find that interview, please do so. It's a really nice one. Jersey Wolfenbarger, glad to see her back in on the Primetime Performers list.
Abby Mosley of Lifeway Christian, a new school that has, I think they've come into AAA. Maybe they haven't quite yet, but I think they're planning on coming into AAA if they haven't already. 32 points in a victory over Yellville Summit.
32 points. That's anytime you score over 30, that's going to get our attention. And Abby Mosley did just that. And, this goes to show that we're not out for all about the 6A teams. Lifeway Christian out of Centerton, we're going to go and check them out. But Abby Mosley, 32 points. Big time performance by Abby Mosley.
And let's move over to the boys' side of things. And you want to talk about a primetime performance. And this was one of our guys here, Nick Smith Jr. Perfect timing, by the way. He comes on Primetime Preps. Right before he comes on Primetime Preps, he's thinking about this. He scored 44 points in an 82-72 win over Jacksonville.
And that's a big-time win for Sylvan Hills. But the junior guard putting up 44 points in contribution to that win, that's a great primetime performance right there by the Bear. And enjoyed having him on our show today.
Ethan Gregory, combo guard out of Mountainburg. We're going to have him on the show next week. 30 points in the victory over Johnson County Westside, averaged 28 points per game over his last three. Got a highlight video out there. Kid can play, man. He is a baller there for the Dragons, 16-3 on the season.
Not only that, but I like that jersey.
Yeah.
It's a good-looking jersey. I like that blue and red combination on his jersey. But Ethan Gregory, 30 points from the Mountainburg Dragons. JC Westside, always a tough opponent. So it was really good to see that victory and that performance from Ethan Gregory.
And finally, going back to the big schools, we got DJ Smith, senior combo guard for North Little Rock, 29 points and a 74-64 victory over Conway.
Big time win for the Charging Wildcats. Conway's a good team, 74-64 win for North Little Rock. Of course, these two teams two schools, I should say, they face off every year in all schools, all sports, I guess. But it's always entertaining, no matter what sport it is, to see these two teams face off. Big time win from DJ Smith, 29 points and a 74-64 win over Conway.
Well, another big time show for us today, Bill. Another primetime show. As we kind of get toward the end of this thing, we've got a few weeks left here in basketball, and then, like I said last week, we're going to take a little bit of a break, come back when football season begins next season, and be ready for more primetime preps. But man, getting a chance to get to know some of these young people and being able to highlight their accolades and letting them, getting a chance to maybe get themselves out there in a way that they haven't before is I feel like an honor, and I'm glad that we're being able to be a part of that.
Absolutely. It's been a fun season, not only in football, but basketball, and the unique, difficulties of this year in and of itself has made it even more special, I guess. But hey, we're not done yet. We are going to be back after the next few weeks, once the basketball season wraps up. We're going to be back in full force for football season. May even have a couple of drop-ins. I don't know what we're going to do for baseball, but I'm sure you'll be hearing from us over the summer.
Oh, for sure. Make sure that you're going and liking that Arkansas Sports Network, especially for that reason alone. If you want to hear from us over the summer, we've got a lot of things and a lot of plans that we want to do as well. And I'll tell you what, Bill, next week, my goodness, it's going to be a wild week for us due to all of the district tournament, the way they're putting it out there, where some districts I think are still going to a spot. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I heard of some that were, but the 4A4 district that we do live streams for the Pottsville Apaches, they're doing home games. And so starting Monday and Tuesday, we will be at Pottsville, as Pottsville will be hosting a couple home games that night. And then we'll see what happens from there.
It's going to be an exciting week. It's always fun when we get into district tournament. That's when you start seeing good teams fall. Average teams win. It's madness, and that's why they call it March Madness. And high school ranks, it comes a month early, but that's okay. But it's going to be an exciting couple of weeks or to next month as we get through district, regional, and state championship tournaments. It's going to be a fun time of year.
Yes, it is. And it really is. I mean, when you get into those regional tournaments and districts and people are fighting for their lives, wanting to play another game, it really gets interesting, and I'm excited about it. And so anyway, but we're going to wrap things up here on this week's edition of Primetime Preps. And again, appreciate all of the ESPN folks allowing us to be on their platforms. And man, we're going to be back next week with another great show. So for Bill, I'm Brad saying so long. We will see you next week.